access to them, like we're giving them to them and they know where to find them. It's just, like she said, a matter of like when to practice, how to practice. I think how to help our like in-class support and support role teachers to support the students in using them would be where we need to focus. Does
A
that make sense?
solution.
Yeah.
So as far as like what you're seeing now, the students just have them, but they're not really guided on how to?
Yeah, I
Or
think
more training on their end?
I think that's the struggle we're seeing in classrooms is like they have them, but yeah, how are we getting them practice with them? Are the staff in the classroom trained well to support students in using them?
Okay. Have y'all, the ones that have been used, do you think they're benefiting the kids? Are they helping them with their scores any?
I think I've seen some kids, like, they were taught how to use the supplemental aid and it benefited them. But then, you know, there's also the kids who were like, they listen to it, they go through the motions of filling in any extra notes that they need to or paying attention to what the supplemental aid is for. And then they leave it behind in class and then you bring it out again and they're like, I don't know what this is for. So, you know, some kids are having that progress with them, it's a benefit, but other kids, it's just another piece of paper to them.
Okay. So it sounds like what I'm hearing is like maybe the initial implementation of how it's being accessed and how it's used and maybe potentially how they're stored. So it's not this new and novel thing, it's like something we do in science they can refer to. And I believe, Ms. Hall, you had a idea of how to store them?
Well, I was thinking just maybe, what if we kept a binder for every kid that needs them, at least in the room, where they were in sleeves by unit, if you wanted set up that way or whatever, but just something that they knew that would be in the room, that's always there, that we make sure they have access to on the days needed, or every day for that matter, as the case may be. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud now, but I feel like if it's something that they're used to using repeatedly in class, that's always here for them, then on a test day,
Constantly getting them out.
then on a test day, it's no big deal. Oh, there's my binder again, and these are things that will help me while I'm taking my test. I don't know, that's.
Yeah, no, I like that idea. And that, I think it'd benefit the in-class support teacher to see them ahead of time too, like where we're headed with the unit, to learn how to, you know, use them in tandem with the test or leading up to it, because ultimately, you know, that's what they're supposed to be using it for, the, you know, the summative and the STAR test. So if they're not, you know, practicing enough, then it's kind of counter.
Yeah,
Intuitive.
because in the classroom, like the teacher of record is like the expert in the content, but the in-class support teacher doesn't always know how that supplemental aid should relate to all the different content. So if we could do something like you mentioned there with training in-class support teachers on how, you know, what the supplemental aid means and what the different parts of it are, and how it relates to what the students should know, that might be helpful, because then they can support the students using them a little bit better.
I also, I heard you say that them in plannings would be beneficial, and I think you're right with that, especially if they're just pure content teachers. That would be very helpul in knowing how to prepare. Like, that's a natural way to differentiate with them in the room. I think that would be, you said it was more helpful in your previous school?
Yes, absolutely, to have just them knowing that, I mean, they can look at our lesson plans for sure, but that doesn't take the place of being in on the conversation of the planning of, hey, this is what we're gonna do and this is how we're gonna do it, and these are the goals, and this is the most important thing for the takeaways. Like, if they have all of that information prior to ever entering the classroom, that would put them miles ahead for helping the students they're expected to help, I feel like, as opposed to walking in just like the kids cold with, oh, there's the objective, what are we doing today? And that's pretty much what they do now, so.
Yeah, because I'm thinking even if they had an initial training at the beginning of the year and we sat them down as, you know, science teachers, people get busy and you know, but if it would keep it fresh in the moment with the planning, if they were in on it and keep it consistent versus like, you know, showing them one time and then that's it, and they're like, I think this is how she wants me to incorporate it, or how I should be incorporating it, so I think that would benefit it,
Mhm.
benefit the, okay. Anything else y'all are seeing, you wanna mention about the use of the supplemental aids?
Just I know you mentioned like the disorganization, that it's another sheet of paper to them, and I think that might, if it was something that was in a sleeve, that was,
Okay.
that
We
they
kept in the
weren't
class.
responsible
Organized
for
for them.
keeping organized, we're